He is touring all the time, which I think that's the reason, really. He's only working a 3-day week. What a slouch. He's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida on July 14th and 15th for his comedy show. And he's bringing his comedy show, different kind, Normal World, on BlazeTV. It airs tonight, beginning tonight at 10 p.m. Here's a clip of just the opening.
Hi, and welcome back to Turning the Page with Bill Turner.
And I'm Selena Gomez.
An arrest has been made in the carjacking that happened on Bunker Hill earlier today. The man apprehended was Hector Martinez, a 33-year-old Mexican immigrant who was in the United States illegally. Authorities are looking into possible ties to white supremacy and getting him amnesty. Wait, what?
Thank you, Bill. Today, a 45-year-old Korean man was beaten severely by a pair of teens while jogging through Angel Park. The teens, likely white supremacists, have been identified as LaMarcus Washington of Franklin Heights and Lil Starburst from SoundCloud. They were taken into custody and immediately released on $0 bail.
How is that white supremacy?
Bill, we're not here to ask questions. We're journalists. Now here's some weather with Buck Wild. I hope you're bringing us some good news here, Buck.
Wish I could, Selena. But we are under a tornado watch in effect until 10 p.m. For those of you that don't already know, a tornado is a narrow, violently rotating column of air that emanates from the deeply embedded systematic racism of our country. The funnel is made up of water droplets, dust, and seething white rage. If you're in the path of this storm, we advise that you take shelter immediately. Unless you're outside fighting racial injustice. In that case, you should be just fine.
All right. That is beginning tonight. Dave Landau. In Normal World. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Good. How about you, sir?
Well, pretty good.
Good.
Better now that you're here.
Thank you.
You are really funny.
Thank you very much.
Really funny.
Thank you.
And I hate to admit that because many people who are fans of mine would then check you out and go, he's so dark.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not for everybody. But
No.
That's a good thing about comedy.
No. I can't tell you. I was on vacation, and I can't tell you how many times. And I gave you credit each time, believe it or not. How many times I said, yeah, things are, we were talking about things getting really dark. And I used your line about your son coming to you and saying, I finally know what I want to be.
Yeah. And I just tell him, look, it doesn't matter. Son, I know you don't watch the news because you're 8, but look, just enjoy the moment because you're not going to make it. Nobody's going to make it.
It is really, for me at least, the only way I can deal with it.
It really is. The only way you can deal with anything now is through comedy. I mean, if you don't laugh at it, you're just going to have to look it in the eye in a different way, which I don't know. Humor is the only way I can look at anything. It's like that, where every news story I kept saying was you would see a name that was clearly not a white guy, and they're like, we're looking into white supremacy.
What makes this funnier, if you're listening to us, if you saw the visuals, the first guy was wearing a giant sombrero, clearly not in the Klan.
Yes, and just for the audio, obviously a guy from SoundCloud whose name is Starburst. They're like, we're going to make sure they're just looking into ties with the Nazis.
So you used to be with Steven Crowder. You worked with him for a while.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. How many shows did you guys produce a week?
We did 4 for a long time, yeah.
So you're doing 3.
3 now,
and
yes.
you've got a good crew with you.
I have a great crew.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. I have Matt McClary writing, who's a great comedian, very dark as well. And then obviously Quarter Black, who's my co-host. And it's just, it's a really great crew. Angela's on the show. It's really great.
Does it ever bother you that shows, I don't know, Stephen Colbert have 70 writers?
Yes, because they come up with nothing. Right. That's why during the writer...
Don't you think, man, I got to get on that? Because I write one good joke a month.
Yeah.
And I'm good.
Well, it's because they don't actually hire based on talent. They hire based on, I guess, looks, if you want to say it. They're like, okay, you fill an exact bracket. That's why when the writer's strike happened, what do you guys want more? It's like you're not producing anything, so they want a raise. It's like, wow.
Would you ever do that while ChatGPT is just out?
No,
I mean, it's like everybody's talking about, man, this thing could write anything.
Yeah. Well,
we're going on strike as writers.
yeah, they're like, this is terrible that this soulless robot's doing a better job than us. It's completely unfair. It basically just looked at them and said, oh, we can just take every single niche and then write the exact joke that you did. A robot.
Right.
Yeah. It's completely sad that it figured it out, the rhythm.
Are you married?
I am.
Wow, you found somebody that would live with you.
I did, yeah.
And is she happy?
No. Yes. No. Well, we're married in the sense of, when I go on the road, we give a nice firm handshake.
Right. Right. You're at that stage.
Give each other a kiss like I'm saying goodbye to my grandma for the last time.
Did she see your act before you got married?
Yeah, we met at Second City in Detroit. Yeah, when they used to be there. Yeah,
wow.
back 20 years ago.
So she was in the audience, or she was
actress.
She was an actress.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and gave it up.
Wow, that's a comedian and an actress.
Yes.
Please don't have children.
Oh, we did.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we have one.
Yay for humanity.
Yeah. You're like, that's why I tell him there's no hope. Because the doctor looked at me and said, you don't have any for him.
Are you going to have more children?
No. And that's not really because of that. I just took him to Chuck E. Cheese once, and I was like, one's enough. I was playing skee ball trying to win enough tickets to get a vasectomy.
It is truly soul-killing.
It is. Once you see, I don't understand.
I never understood. I mean, the mouse, Mickey Mouse, I get. It's kind of cute. That's a rat.
Yes,
it's not.
No,
it's like a really, really poor, maybe in an African country kind of mascot. You know what I mean? You're like, look at the dirty rat. Oh, he's nice.
Oh, he's filthy. And he wants to take your kid. Your kid wants to take a picture with vermin. What a nice place.
Does it? I mean, we are in such a different place now than we used to be. I was telling somebody the other day that when I was 15, 16 years old until I was 18, I worked with one of the most brilliant men in this industry, Michael O'Shea. And
oh, for sure.
And you know him?
Yeah, I know of him. Yeah.
And he taught me everything. And he would spend so much time. He was a vice president of company, and I was a nobody, okay? Now, if you did that, people would be like, what the hell is he doing, that 16-year-old boy?
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you see people together, and you're like, what's going on over there?
Well, if it was Bryan Singer, you'd just be like, it's his friend.
Did you see Hunter Biden? The charges?
Oh, he has charges now?
Oh, yeah. They charged him this morning with 2 misdemeanors.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. They finally got him for a parking violation?
Yeah. No, not paying his taxes. 2 charges of not paying his taxes.
Oh, did they read the book?
Yeah, it's weird. And then something on guns, right?
A gun charge that is going to be dismissed with certain behavior. If he acts a certain way, apparently in the future, pleasant, I don't know.
He's got to be
personable.
He's got to smoke crack and hang out with hookers,
right?
And then it'll all go away.
Is it the one where he left it in a trash can outside the elementary school?
No, that was his then girlfriend, former brother's wife that did that.
Oh, okay. So that's okie dokie.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
He just left it unlocked in his glove box. She took it out and then threw it away in the trash.
Oh, sure.
This one has to do with his having a gun while having an addiction.
Yeah,
like, That's what this
goes
one
back
is,
to him lying when he bought the gun, saying, I'm not high. Look at me.
I've definitely been high and bought drugs off of somebody who's had a gun because I'm in recovery.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never been in that. Like, that's the only part where I empathize with him in the slightest bit is because I was an addict. But he's so beyond the point of me being understanding at
so
this
this
point.
is why I'm actually really disgusted with his family.
Yes.
Because
they enable him beyond anything.
Beyond all imagination.
Yes.
He clearly has a problem. I think I mean, why would you take videos of you committing crimes and then keeping it along with all the crimes that you're doing with your father, who's vice president of the United States? Why would you do that unless you either don't trust your father, and so you're holding it as evidence, which I think is good, or you just you are crying out for help or want to stop?
If you're leaving laptops for Geek Squad with all that evidence on it, you're begging your dad to hug you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right.
You really are.
Well, but not too vigorously.
Well, no, you're not begging.
Not in
him.
the shower.
Yes, I was going to say you're not trying to. You're not. Well, that's Ashley. You're like.
That's scary, isn't it? These people could get away. I mean, you wouldn't survive. No one would survive the amount of evidence just in her diary.
Yes.
Saying, I think Dad abused me. I have recollection of being in the shower with Dad. You wouldn't survive just in social circles, let alone still be president of the United States.
Absolutely not. If Trump has an empty Nike box, they're trying to bring on federal charges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then this guy, he parks his car next to just documentation of the worst things possible.
Yeah, but it was a Corvette. It was a classic Corvette.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
you keep that pretty secure.
I agree. I do like the car. Granted, him behind the wheel of it is the scariest thing imaginable.
So is it harder to do a comedy show now because life is parody? I mean, it's like you make up some crazy idea and it's funny. It happens tomorrow.
It's so good. I mean, part of it is and isn't, because if the fans who come out and see me are already fans of me, but you do get people in the audience who don't know what I do, and either they're going to like it
I feel
or
sorry for them.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
and then some people get very angry. Like you'll even say a line that's very simple, like "I have a boy for now." You know, and just kind of toss it out like that to get a feel like
those are the things that I absolutely love. You will say something that is so outrageous, and instead of recognizing it, you just move on and you say something else even more outrageous.
Right.
I mean, you're just building on. I mean, I don't know how you're not probably in actual prison, not just Twitter prison, but actual prison.
It's odd. It's nice that we have freedom of speech somewhat. That's the problem, is it is going away because people pretend it's not, but it is. And you notice that. And even on stage, like last week in Austin, like even right after I made that joke, I said, no offense to, I don't know, half of you. And then you do see a couple of people in the audience who get it, but you'll notice somebody who's transgender and you kind of go, okay, I wonder if they're going to laugh. And then they do. And you go, okay. But then the person who does get offended is somebody who you don't think would. And that's the person who walks out. Like you can never tell who's going to have a sense of humor.
How many
anymore.
times before all of this madness, how often did you have people walk out?
Oddly, not that much.
Okay.
Not that when it became virtue signaling. Like I had a guy in Tacoma who stood up, and it was during a bit I was talking about the female athlete, male to female.
Yeah.
And
just male to male.
Yeah, male to male.
And wearing a female swimsuit.
Correct. Yeah. The one who looked like Howard Stern.
She was lovely.
You know, the one that you could recognize her because she was the one wearing all the gold after the meet. You know? And I said, and the whole joke, I said, if I was to compete as a woman, I wouldn't be taking home any trophies. They'd just be like, "Who's that fat girl? I think she has emphysema. Her testicles are hanging out of her bathing suit." And they're like, "That's Dava. She's always
Dava.
Yeah, she's always in the shower watching us." And,
okay, all right. That's why the show airs at 10 p.m.
Sorry,
10 p.m. Make sure that you find it. He is really funny.
But this guy stands up and he goes, "This is the most homophobic show I've ever seen." You know, he's trying to rile up everybody in the crowd. And I said, and he's pulling out his camera, and I go, "How? I'm making fun of me." And you could tell there were other gay people in the crowd, and he's trying to get a video on me. And they all agreed. And he's like, "No," and he's trying to get the phone, and I go, "No, what part of that was me making fun of anybody else but me?" And he's like, "No, you were making fun of it. This is the most anti-LGBTQ show I've ever been to." I go, "Explain to me where that made fun of anybody else but my physical appearance. And then he storms out because he starts putting his phone away, gets to the bouncer, and the bouncer's like, you have to pay your tab. You can't just leave. So then he goes, I may have overreacted. I want to go back in. He goes, that's not how this works. So it was just amazing, though, for him to get called on that, because it's like he did it on purpose.
Right.
To get his own video, to get hits, and to get clicks on me.
It does seem like a brilliant way to get out of paying a tab, though.
It does.
does.
I mean,
It
that's
does.
going to work sometime.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does work for some people where they're like, oh, it's great. That's how you just get a
We're
free
so
meal.
sorry, yeah.
It's by virtue signaling.
Your white claws on us, sir.
But remember, it doesn't happen at a Dave Landau show. The program is called Normal World, Blaze TV, reclaiming late night with a new show, Normal World. You can find it at Blaze TV. Also, the website is youtube.com/@normalworld. Make sure you watch it. It'll air every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 10 p.m. Worth the watch. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
I really appreciate it.
You bet.